Hello, welcome to my latest creation. Today I'm going to make a pina colada cheesecake. Always a favorite. I'm going to start with the vanilla wafers, sugar and butter for the crust. For the filling, lots of cream cheese, candied pineapple, pineapple juice. We have to use a little bit of imitation rum, and the eggs, sour cream, and more sugar. For the topping, more sour cream, coconut flavoring, and more sugar. Let's get started. First thing, common sense prevails. Wash thoroughly. Now after making sure that nobody has left anything in the oven, we'll preheat to 350 degrees and start. To make the crust, take 6 tablespoons of butter. I'm going to put that into a saucepan, and it's on low. Just want it to melt gently. Next, for the crust, I use vanilla wafers. Right now I've got about 2.5, 3 cups. Okay, what I want is about 1.5, 1 3/4 cups. That was just over 1 1/4. And it's always best to put the blade back in before you put the extra cookies in. Besides, I can edit that out. As you can see, maybe not, I have right at 2 cups. I'm going to go ahead and pour it all in. 1/4 cup of sugar. And then finally, the butter. I stir this with a fork, blending thoroughly, of course. Next, I'm going to prepare the pan, and now I'm going to put some baker's joy in it. I'm going to be putting it up the sides and the bottom, so this is good. Okay, first of all, I'm going to put in enough to cover the bottom. Spread that out evenly. Now the fun part is getting it up the sides, especially after putting the baker's choice on. It doesn't want to stick. A little more over here. And take some of the thicker stuff from the edges. Don't want it too thick because it'll burn on and it's hard to cut through that crust. Make sure the bottom isn't exposed. And that's about it. The oven's already at 350. So now I'm going to take this. I'm going to set this for 10 minutes and start. And of course, it goes without saying, it's always nice to clean up after yourself while you're moving along. The next part is the filling. I have about a 1/2 cup of these candied pineapples. I'm going to chop them up real fine by hand. I tried this once before with a food processor and pureed them into a paste. A good sharp Ginsu knife. Helps get these real fine as you can get them. But again, slivered, best. I like little tiny chunks. That way they're going to absorb the rum flavoring better. I'm going to put these in a dish. I don't want these real packed tight together. Got about a half cup. I have McCormick Imitation Rum Flavor Extract. This is a 1 ounce bottle, and this is going to be poured all over it. And it's just going to continue to soak. I'll stir it now and then while the rest of the items are getting prepared. Okay, 10 minutes is up. I'm going to take this out and let it cool. Okay, for the next part, I'm going to jack this up to 425. Okay, this time I'm using Philadelphia cream cheese, the original. Once in a while, I get on a kick and I will use the low fat. Can't tell the difference. So 5 packs of this, 2.5 pounds of cream cheese. Softened. I leave them at room temperature for about 2 hours. I have 5 packs of cream cheese in here, softened. And I'm putting 1.5 cups of sugar, regular sugar in. And I'm going to blend that until it's smooth, on low. Getting there. Now that the cream cheese and the sugar are all creamed together, I'm going to start adding eggs. Large eggs, one at a time. I asked a graduate of one of the local schools of cooking, why do I add one at a time? I guess he didn't take cheesecake in his degree because he couldn't tell me. But the instructions say so. And you know me, I always follow the rules. Always want to keep it on low or medium low. Don't want too many air bubbles getting into this. Just smooth cream cheese and egg and sugar and flavoring. This is where I vary from the original recipe I found. For some reason, McCormick, and I really do like McCormick, McCormick has decided to limit the availability of their pineapple extract. Maybe it's the area where I live. So instead of half a jar of pineapple, what I use is a half cup of the pineapple juice right out of the pineapple slices. And as you saw, I also put in a cup of sour cream. Now, because of this variation, need a little bit of flour, about 1/8 of a cup. And now, remember the pineapple pieces soaked in rum? Rum flavoring, rum extract. Can't keep rum around this house, no telling what would happen. So, just use rum extract, use it all at once. And again, on low. Now I'm going to fill this about 3/4 of the way full. Oh man, do I have a lot of extra. Looks like somebody's going to get some cheesecake cupcakes. And in it goes. Now this, it's only going to be for about 10 minutes. Just to get it set. Then I'll turn the temperature down. Almost done. Okay, now that it's set, I'm going to bake it, reduce the temperature here, back down to 325. Start that, and then I'm going to set the timer for 40 minutes. Did that without opening the oven, by the way. And it is just about ready. All right. Oh, perfect. Just a few cracks in it. That's always good. And I'm going to let it sit here for about 10 minutes. Now while it's cooling, these cracks are going to get bigger and bigger. Not to worry. The next step will take care of that. Okay, now for the topping. This is going to fill in the cracks and give it that colada taste. I have a full 16-ounce container of sour cream, 1/4 cup of sugar. I have about 2/3 of a cup of the coconut, and McCormick imitation coconut. Once again, they do make coconut, but McCormick, are you listening to me? They do not make pineapple. Or they don't make it available to me. What's the problem here? So, I've got not quite half a jar here, 2 tablespoons. Swirl it together by hand. Don't need to use a mixer on this part, because you just need to get it all mixed together. Smooth. Oh, I can smell that coconut. Now I've let the cheesecake cool. As it cooled, it started making more cracks. The best way to get rid of the cracks, carefully run a butter knife in between the shell and the outside. As it settles, the cracks close, and it pulls away from the edge. Make it better for when you finally serve. Okay, all smooth, blended together, nice and creamy, coconutty. I always like to take a little bit on top, because this stuff's going to brown while it cooks. Now you may have heard the beep of the stove just now. Brought it back up to 400 degrees. Now it's time to put it in the oven. And, ooh, that's hot. I have my trusty assistant Robert helping me here. And watch your back. It's going to take 10 minutes on high. And this should be just about done. Oh my God. Down a little bit. Oh, look at that. Perfect. 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 Get in on that. Look a little close and see how, oh, look at that nicely browned coconut. I think I have achieved perfection again. All right, now I just have to let it cool overnight, and tomorrow night I will share. All right. Having had a cheesecake as the result of these steps,